The Bible, a book that sparked countless debates, inspired millions, and weathered centuries of scrutiny. It's a beacon of hope for some, a source of confusion for others, but one thing's for sure, it's rarely ignored. We've all heard whispers about it, snippets of verses, claims of contradictions. These whispers often morph into myths, misconceptions that keep people from truly engaging with the Bible's message. They see it as a dusty relic, irrelevant to our modern lives. But I'm here to tell you that couldn't be further from the truth. We're about to embark on a journey, an exploration of the Bible's core. We'll debunk those persistent myths and uncover the timeless wisdom within. Get ready to challenge your assumptions and discover why this ancient text remains incredibly relevant today. In our fast-paced world, skepticism reigns supreme. We're told to question everything, to accept nothing at face value. And while critical thinking is crucial, it's easy to let skepticism morph into cynicism. We dismiss things outright, especially when it comes to matters of faith. This is where the myths about the Bible take root. We hear about contradictions, outdated practices, and historical inaccuracies. We start to see it as a book of fables, interesting perhaps, but hardly applicable to our modern lives. But what if I told you that many of these criticisms stem from misunderstandings? What if the supposed contradictions dissolve when we consider the context? What if the Bible's message is more relevant now than ever before? Over the next few minutes, we'll delve into the heart of these myths, dissecting them with logic and reason. We'll explore the alleged contradictions, examining the historical and cultural context that often gets overlooked. We'll tackle the notion that the Bible is outdated, showcasing its timeless principles that resonate deeply with the human experience. This isn't about blind faith, it's about engaging in honest inquiry, about separating fact from fiction. It's about rediscovering the power and relevance of a book that has shaped civilizations for millennia. So buckle up and get ready to see the Bible in a new light. It's time to set the record straight. One of the most common accusations leveled at the Bible is its supposed riddling with contradictions. Skeptics point to seemingly conflicting passages, declaring the entire book unreliable. They hold up these discrepancies like trophies, proof that the Bible is nothing more than a collection of flawed human writings. But this argument often stems from a surface-level reading, a failure to delve into the richness of the text. It's like judging a symphony by listening to a single note, or dismissing a masterpiece painting after a cursory glance. The Bible, written over centuries by numerous authors, isn't meant to be read like a modern textbook. It's a tapestry of different genres, writing styles, and historical contexts. To truly understand it, we need to move beyond a simplistic, literal interpretation and embrace the nuances within. Ignoring this complexity leads to misunderstandings and fuels the fire of skepticism. It's like trying to solve a complex equation without understanding the underlying principles. The result? Confusion, frustration, and ultimately a rejection of the very thing we're trying to comprehend. Section 2, context, is key: the battle of interpretation. Imagine reading a news article about a crash without any further information. Did a car collide, and did the stock market plummet? Without context, the word crash holds little meaning. The same principle applies to the Bible. Words and phrases can have multiple meanings, and their intended meaning often hinges on the surrounding text, the historical background, and the author's intent. Taking verses out of context is like presenting a single puzzle piece and claiming it represents the entire picture. Consider the often cited discrepancy regarding the number of animals Noah took on the ark. One passage mentions a pair of each animal, while another specifies 7 pairs of certain kinds. This apparent contradiction dissolves when we understand the context. The additional pairs of certain animals served a specific purpose, to be used for sacrifices after the flood. Context is king. It's the key that unlocks the true meaning of the text, dispelling the shadows of doubt and revealing the clarity within. Section 3. Lost in translation, bridging the cultural divide. The Bible, originally written in Hebrew, Aramaic and Greek, has been translated and retranslated over centuries. While this makes the text accessible to a global audience, it also introduces the possibility of linguistic and cultural nuances getting lost in translation. Certain idioms, figures of speech, and cultural references may not translate seamlessly into modern English. What seems like a contradiction to a 21st century reader might have been perfectly clear to someone living in biblical times. For instance, the phrase "an eye for an eye," often interpreted as a call for harsh retribution, was actually a legal principle designed to limit vengeance. It ensured that the punishment fit the crime, preventing excessive retaliation. Understanding the cultural and historical backdrop of the Bible is essential for accurate interpretation. It's like learning the customs and traditions of a foreign land before embarking on a journey there. Section 4. Harmony and Diversity Understanding Different Genres. The Bible isn't a single monolithic book. It's an anthology, a collection of 66 books comprising different genres, each with its own unique style and purpose. We encounter poetry, historical accounts, parables, letters, and prophetic writings, all woven together to convey a cohesive message. Expecting uniformity across these diverse genres is unrealistic. It's like comparing a Shakespearean sonnet to a modern-day news report and expecting them to adhere to the same stylistic rules. Recognizing these genre distinctions is paramount. A poetic passage shouldn't be interpreted literally, just as a historical account shouldn't be dismissed as mere allegory. Each genre serves a unique purpose, contributing to the richness and depth of the overall message. Failing to appreciate this diversity leads to misinterpretations and fuels the perception of contradictions. It's like trying to fit square blocks into round holes. Frustration is inevitable unless we recognize the inherent differences. Let's take a closer look at a frequently cited contradiction to illustrate how understanding context can dispel confusion. One passage states that God hardened Pharaoh's heart, while another suggests Pharaoh hardened his own heart. At first glance, these statements seem irreconcilable. However, a deeper dive reveals a more nuanced picture. The Hebrew word translated as hardened can also mean strengthened or made resolute. In the context of the Exodus story, Pharaoh repeatedly witnessed God's power through the plagues, yet he stubbornly refused to release the Israelites. God, in essence, strengthened Pharaoh's resolve, allowing his prideful nature to be fully revealed. This ultimately served a greater purpose, to demonstrate God's power and liberate his people. This example highlights how what appears to be a contradiction on the surface can, with careful examination and contextual understanding, reveal a deeper harmony within the text. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the one that makes some people relegate the Bible to the dusty shelves of history, the claim that it's outdated, irrelevant to our modern, fast-paced lives. They see tales of sandals and camels, kings and kingdoms, and struggle to connect it to our world of smartphones and social media, global economies, and existential anxieties. It's true, the Bible was written thousands of years ago in a vastly different cultural landscape, but to dismiss it as irrelevant is to mistake the forest for the trees. It's like saying Shakespeare is outdated because he didn't write about iPhones. The Bible isn't a rule book frozen in time. It's a timeless tapestry woven with stories of human experience. Love, loss, betrayal, hope, faith, doubt. These are universal themes that transcend time and culture, resonating as deeply today as they did millennia ago. So, before we relegate the Bible to a bygone era, let's dust off the misconceptions and uncover the enduring wisdom that lies within. At its core, the Bible is a story about relationships. Our relationship with ourselves, with each other, and with God. It delves into the complexities of the human heart, exposing our flaws and celebrating our potential. It grapples with questions we still ask today. What does it mean to live a meaningful life? What is justice? How do we navigate suffering? How do we find hope in the face of despair? These are timeless dilemmas. And the Bible offers timeless insights. It speaks of love that endures, forgiveness that heals, and hope that triumphs over adversity. These aren't archaic concepts, they're the very pillars of a fulfilling life, regardless of the era we inhabit. To dismiss the Bible as outdated is to disregard the timeless truths it reveals about the human condition. Section 3. Love, Justice, and the Human Condition Echoes Through the Ages. Consider the concept of love, a central theme in the Bible, from the passionate love story of Ruth and Boaz to the self-sacrificial love of Jesus. The Bible explores the multifaceted nature of love in its various forms: romantic love, familial love, brotherly love, and divine love. These stories teach us about commitment, compassion, empathy, and the transformative power of forgiveness. They remind us that love isn't just a fleeting emotion, it's a choice, a commitment to act with kindness and understanding, even when it's difficult. The Bible also speaks extensively about justice, a concept as relevant today as it was centuries ago. It calls for fairness, integrity, and compassion for the marginalized. It challenges us to fight for what is right, to speak up against oppression, and to champion the cause of the vulnerable. These principles aren't confined to ancient times. They're the bedrock of a just and equitable society, a society we're still striving to create. Section 4. Finding your place in the grand narrative, the Bible's enduring relevance. Beyond the individual stories and teachings, the Bible offers a grand narrative, a sweeping epic that connects humanity's past, present, and future. It speaks of creation, fall, redemption, and restoration, a narrative that resonates deeply with our own experiences of hope and brokenness, longing and fulfillment. We all yearn for purpose, for a sense of belonging, for a story that transcends our fleeting existence. The Bible offers just that, a narrative that connects us to something larger than ourselves, a story that gives meaning to our struggles and hope for a brighter future. It reminds us that we're not alone in our joys and sorrows, our triumphs and failures. We're part of something ancient and vast, a story that's still being written. The Bible as a source of wisdom, not just laws. It's true, the Bible contains laws and commandments, but to reduce it to a mere rule book is to miss the forest for the trees. The laws were given within a specific historical and cultural context. They served a purpose in their time. The true value lies in its wisdom and timeless principles. It's a source of guidance for navigating human relationships and finding hope. Another myth that casts a shadow over the Bible is the idea that it's been tampered with over time. Skeptics whisper that the text has been altered, verses added or removed to fit certain agendas. This notion feeds into the doubt, making people question the very foundation of the book. They point to the vast time frame, the numerous translations, and the human element involved in preserving these ancient writings. Surely, they argue, errors must have crept in, changing the original message. However, this argument underestimates the meticulous care taken to preserve the accuracy of the biblical text. It's like claiming that because a famous painting has been restored over centuries, the original artwork is lost. While restoration involves careful work, it doesn't change the artist's vision. We'll see that the Bible, far from being a haphazardly assembled text, has been subjected to rigorous scrutiny and preservation efforts, ensuring its authenticity throughout the ages. One of the remarkable things about the Bible is its historical accuracy. Unlike myths and legends that often blur the lines between fact and fiction, the Bible grounds its narrative in verifiable history. Archaeological discoveries continue to corroborate details mentioned in the biblical accounts. From the existence of ancient cities like Jericho and Nineveh to the confirmation of customs and practices described in the text, the evidence aligns remarkably well. Skeptics often point to the lack of extra-biblical sources for certain events as proof of fabrication. However, they fail to consider the vast amount of ancient literature that's been lost to history. Just because an event isn't recorded elsewhere doesn't automatically render it false. The historical accuracy of the Bible, far from being a point of contention, stands as a testament to its authenticity. Contrary to popular belief, the copying of ancient texts wasn't a haphazard affair. Jewish scribes, entrusted with preserving the sacred scriptures, approached their task with reverence and meticulous care. They developed elaborate systems of checks and balances to ensure accuracy. Every letter, every word, every line was counted and verified. Any scroll containing even the slightest error was immediately destroyed. This unwavering commitment to accuracy is evident in the Dead Sea Scrolls, a collection of biblical manuscripts dating back to the centuries before Christ. When compared to later manuscripts, the similarities are astounding, attesting to the remarkable preservation of the text over centuries. The scribes, with their unwavering dedication and meticulous practices, served as faithful guardians of the text, ensuring its transmission across generations with remarkable accuracy. Section 4, A Legacy in Fragments, Unearthing the Evidence. While we don't possess the original manuscripts of the Bible, the sheer volume of existing copies and fragments provides a wealth of evidence for its textual integrity. Thousands of ancient manuscripts, some dating back to the early centuries of Christianity, have been discovered across the globe. These fragments, like pieces of a giant jigsaw puzzle, provide a comprehensive picture of the text's consistency over time. Textual critics, scholars who specialize in comparing and analyzing ancient manuscripts, have meticulously examined these fragments, reconstructing the text with remarkable accuracy. They've concluded that the Bible we hold today is a faithful representation of the original writings. The evidence speaks for itself. The Bible, far from being a book shrouded in doubt and uncertainty, boasts a wealth of textual evidence, a testament to its enduring legacy and remarkable preservation. Section 5, The Unchanging Word, God's Promise, Preserved Through Time. The Bible's authenticity is rooted in the belief that it's the inspired Word of God. God would not allow His Word to be corrupted or lost. This conviction is rooted in the Bible's own claims about its divine origin. From Genesis to Revelation, the Scriptures declare themselves to be the very words of God. Section 1. Turning the Tables, A Skeptic's Challenge. We've unpacked some heavy myths, shone a light on the Bible's historical accuracy, and tackled those claims of contradictions. But I know what you're thinking. I still have doubts. And you know what? That's all right. Doubting is part of the journey. See, I've been there myself. Doubt whispers in our ears, makes us question everything. But here's the thing about doubt. It can paralyze us, or it can propel us forward. Let it be a stepping stone. Let it challenge you to dig deeper, to ask tough questions. So I'm turning the tables. I'm going to pose some questions. And I challenge you not to simply dismiss them, but to truly wrestle with them. Let's address the elephant in the room. Skeptics often point to seemingly contradictory passages in the Bible. How can a loving God send people to hell? Why is there so much suffering? These are tough questions, questions that have puzzled theologians for centuries. The Bible doesn't shy away from difficult topics. It grapples with complexities of good and evil, free will and divine grace. So instead of dismissing the Bible, lean into these questions, seek out different perspectives and engage in respectful dialogue. Another common doubt: the Bible is thousands of years old. How can it be relevant to my life today? We live in a world of instant gratification, rapid technological advancements, and ever-evolving social norms. The ancient world of the Bible might seem a million miles away, but here's the thing: human nature hasn't changed all that much. We still long for love, purpose, meaning. We still grapple with fear, insecurity, and the temptation to make selfish choices. We still yearn for something beyond ourselves, something to make sense of this messy, beautiful thing called life. And that's where the Bible, despite its ancient origins, remains surprisingly relevant. It speaks to the core of the human experience, offering timeless wisdom for navigating relationships, overcoming challenges, and finding hope in the midst of suffering. So, instead of dismissing the Bible as irrelevant, I challenge you to look for the echoes of your own life within its pages. Let's be honest, we're bombarded with information these days. Countless voices vying for our attention, each claiming to hold the answers, the truth, the way forward. It's easy to get caught up in the noise, to let skepticism and cynicism drown out any possibility of faith. So, when it comes to the Bible, it ultimately boils down to a matter of trust. Who are you going to trust? The voices that dismiss it outright, the ones who haven't even taken the time to truly understand it? Or will you trust the millions, billions even, who have found solace, guidance, and transformative power within its pages? The choice is yours, but I urge you to be discerning, to question your sources, and to consider the possibility that there might be more to this ancient book than meets the eye. Section 5. Beyond the Doubts. An invitation to explore. Look, I'm not here to force-feed you beliefs or claim that the Bible is a magic solution to all of life's problems. Faith, true faith, isn't about blind acceptance. It's about asking questions, wrestling with doubts, and ultimately coming to your own conclusions. So if you're skeptical, I get it. I've been there. But don't let skepticism be the end of your journey. Let it be the beginning. Pick up a Bible, read it with an open mind and a willing heart. Don't just read the words. Let them challenge you, provoke you, inspire you. Talk to people who hold different beliefs. Listen to their perspectives. Engage in respectful dialogue. You might be surprised by what you discover. The journey of faith, like any worthwhile adventure, is rarely easy. It's filled with twists and turns, moments of doubt and moments of profound clarity. But it's a journey worth taking. So, take that first step and see where the path leads you. So there we have it. We've trekked through the rugged terrain of skepticism, scaled the mountains of misconception, and navigated the treacherous waters of doubt. We've seen how easily those whispers of contradictions and irrelevance can take root, how they can cloud our vision and keep us from experiencing the true heart of the Bible. But we've also discovered that when we approach the Bible with an open mind, a willingness to delve deeper than surface-level interpretations, a whole new world opens up. The alleged contradictions often dissolve, revealing a deeper harmony. The ancient stories resonate with timeless wisdom, offering guidance for our modern lives. The Bible, far from being a dusty, irrelevant relic, emerges as a vibrant, living testament to the human experience, our struggles, our triumphs, our search for meaning in a world that often feels chaotic and uncertain. This isn't about winning arguments or converting anyone to a particular belief system. It's about something far more profound. It's about fostering genuine curiosity, about encouraging people to look beyond the preconceived notions and engage with the Bible on their own terms. We live in a world increasingly polarized by differing viewpoints, a world where it's easy to retreat into our echo chambers, dismissing anything that challenges our firmly held beliefs. But true growth, true understanding happens when we're willing to step outside those comfort zones, to engage in respectful dialogue with those who hold different perspectives. The Bible, with its rich history of interpretation and debate, invites us to do just that, to wrestle with the text, to ask tough questions, and to allow ourselves to be challenged by its message. I've shared my perspective, my journey of grappling with the myths and discovering the enduring power of the Bible. But now it's over to you. You're holding the compass, you're charting the course. Maybe some of what I've said has resonated with you, sparked a new curiosity, planted a seed of doubt that, ironically, could lead to a deeper faith. Or maybe you're left with more questions than answers, your skepticism still firmly intact. And that's okay. The important thing is that you don't just take my word for it. Don't let my voice, or anyone else's for that matter, be the final authority. Go on your own adventure. Pick up a Bible, dust it off if you need to. Start reading. Maybe start with the Gospels, the stories of Jesus. See what he had to say, how he interacted with people, the message of love and compassion that echoed through his teachings. Don't be afraid to ask questions, to underline passages that confuse you, to highlight verses that speak to your heart. Talk to people who inspire you, people who embody the values you find in the Bible. This isn't about reaching a final destination, about having all the answers neatly tied up in the bow. This is about embarking on a lifelong adventure, a journey of exploration and discovery, a quest for truth and meaning that's uniquely yours. So take that first step. Open your mind, open your heart, and see where the journey leads you. You might be surprised by what you find.